it's based on iconic literary material. Richard Stark in this character. I mean, you've had Lee Marvin, Point Blank. You've had Robert Duvall in the outfits. I mean, many others have played this part. Now I get to take a swing at my own version of Parker, who is an iconic criminal who is beloved by many and respected by everybody in that world, in the crime world. So Shane Black, witty dialogue, great twist, new heist, new take on the material. So it's fantastic. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it was right there on the page. I'm one who's known as an improviser and kind of bringing something to the table, but Shane is such a great writer, and the guys did such a great job with the script that it was just, it was all right there on the page. We had so much fun making it. We've got such a great cast. I mean, whether it be Keegan, Michael Key, Nat Wolff, the list goes on. Tony Shalhoub and I have worked together before, but LaKeith and I, it was like, he's the guy, so hopefully we'll get to do it again soon. There's a wit and intelligence and this code, I think it's just different. I think, I've played in like Italian Job, playing Charlie, but there's just something about him, and he's just a little bit more edgy. I would say it's kind of like a combination of like Heat meets Italian Job, with a lot of humor. I've been such a big fan of his forever. I met with him a couple of times, and we had talked about doing something, and then when this finally came my way, I said absolutely right away. It's intense, it's a lot of work, big sets, big set pieces, there's a lot of scale to this movie. We were shooting in Australia, so it was away from home. Could get intense at times, but we had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs.
My character is sort of like a snake in the grass. She's a part of the heist, but something goes wrong at the very beginning, and you soon find out that she's, a plant for something even bigger. I'm living a dream. I love Mark Wahlberg. I've loved everything he's ever done. I Heart Huckabee's my favorite movie, which is like not his action, movie, but The Departed, everything. And I've been putting in so much work in the action space, so it felt like a real, graduation into something, bigger with someone that I've admired forever. Then you've got Nat Wolff, who's hilarious. You've got LaKeith, who's obviously a fucking megastar. You've got Shalhoub. You've got Keegan-Michael Key, who's the funniest person on earth. So it felt good to be the lady in the bunch. I'm always the girl in a group of guys, including my Thursday night poker game. So I think the trust. First of all, budget. I mean, they're like, hey, you're going to jump off this thing? How do you feel about that? And everything was so controlled, but they were also very trusting of what you could do, what you wanted to do. And then for things that you're like, I need to hand this off to a professional, they were even more amazing. So you're like, they were just, we had Navy SEALs, we had the equivalent to a Navy SEAL in Australia, teaching us guns and clearing rooms, and just felt like fun. It felt like camp, really, yeah. I read a lot. I was reading books on philosophy. I was sitting at the beach because every day you're doing 17 hours of stunts. So it's not like you would go home and then rappel down the side of your house. You want to keep it as zen as possible. Samurais, they do calligraphy. It's not, intense all the time. You have to have center when you're not on set. I'm relatively new. If you look at his career, I'm relatively new to this business, and I've been working, So it was just, I learned so much. I was in awe of him, and to be right up there with him felt like, got myself back.
I'm a fan of Richard Stark, who is Donald Westlake. He wrote all the crime pulp novels, the Parker series, right? The Parker series is the best crime series done from the 60s, the peak of pulp crime. Parker has been done a few times on film. This is the best. So all you fans of Richard Stark and Donald Westlake can't go wrong with this. It's my personal favorite movie I've done in a long time. Had a great time working with Shane. And there's only one, Shane Black. He knows how to do it, and he delivers on the black. I love an ensemble. She's great. You get a great ensemble together, and yeah, she's pretty good. And Keegan, I worked with Keegan before on Predator. So I didn't get to work with him on this, but I'm happy to see him in it. We are a crew. We're the crew. We're the robbers. We're the guys who take down the racetrack. We're the guys who get the job done. and Parker is our man. You know, every good crew needs a leader, and Parker's always been the best. Shane captures a sense of humor, but he keeps an edge to it, so it's got a realism, which I personally like. I don't like it when things get a little too goofy. I like it when there's an edge to the humor, and you got to have both. And capturing that tone is not easy, you know? People get a little too hard or they go a little too funny. You got to go right down the middle, and you got to play it straight. And that's what Shane is great at.
I'm anxious to see this with a crowd. I've only seen the link, you know? So I think it's really a kind of film that sort of needs like the energy of a room. Everyone in this is a bad guy. You have to, you know, you need a metal detector to find a good guy in this movie. But yeah, my guy is sort of the head of the outfit, which is sort of the organization. And he's Parker's nemesis. Lozini is Parker's nemesis. So it was fun. I've worked with Mark before, and I think the sweetest part of it was that I got to do a lot of my scenes with Nat Wolff, and I've known Nat since before he was born. He's friends with his parents, went to drama school with his mom, and so it was just great. We had a lot of fun together. My stuff was mostly with Nat and a little bit with Mark, and not a lot of the other principals. My sort of like my henchmen, and that was pretty much it. I was around a lot but only shot very, you know, like limited amounts of people. You know, the thing about Shane is that he's just has such a sort of a specific vision and a specific way of working, and inside of that allows actors to really play and really, you know, have input and bring their ideas and bring their improvisations into the room. And this kind of material really supports that.
It was fun working on it. It was a great cast and crew. It was a privilege and an honor to be part of this beautiful film. I'm Colonel D. I'm in charge of, I love my country too much, and I made a deal with some people for the best of my country. The director, working with him is to die for, and the cast itself. And it was a fun role to play, but it was just literally the script was amazing, and the crew and especially the cast. It was great to be part of it. I heard the rumors of how focused he is, and he knows what he wants, and it was refreshing. That's the word I could use, because he knew what he wanted, and you didn't overshoot or undershot. You knew what he wanted, you get it done, and we went home. Be entertained. Entertain the most, enjoy yourself, forget about the world and what's happening for the next 2 hours, and just be entertained and have fun.
The movie it's a hard-hitting action crime thriller with really dry, witty, funny dialogue, and it's very action-packed. And basically, Parker has to pull off this heist, this kind of big robbery, and he assembles a crew to kind of pull it off. Each people come with different skills, and I am one of the people that brings my skills. So I'm Brenda. I'm part of a husband-wife duo with Keegan-Michael Key, and we are art thieves, and we're very good at disguise, and we have to kind of take over a railway station, and hilarity ensues, hopefully. It was so fun. Before we start, I was already a fan of all his work with Key and Peele, but I was like, I'm going to start rewatching it from the start. And then I got like maybe 15 minutes in, and I was like, I have to stop because I'm going to psych myself out. He's too good. Like he's just one of the best comedic talents we have alive today. This century. So it was amazing. I learned so much, but he's also so sweet and humble and collaborative, and we had a really good time kind of exploring our dynamic and playing around with how we could kind of add detail and nuance to the relationship, so it was really fun. I think working with Shane Black was pretty amazing. He is really just so good at what he does, and at the same time he was the most relaxed director I've ever worked with, and it was sort of effortless. He wouldn't overshoot it. If he had what he needed, he'd say cut, move on, and so you felt like you were kind of capturing lightning in a bottle and then moving on. You weren't kind of overdoing it. So when you're working with someone that knows what they're doing that well, there's not a need to kind of overwork it. So that was a real pleasure.
This is my 4th film that Shane's written, and I play Tracy, and I don't want to give anything away, but she is maybe a helpful character along the way to Mark and LaKeith and Nat Wolff. It was so amazing. Like, LaKeith Stanfield seems like he's a method actor, like he was always in character, and Mark is this consummate professional, but those two, their chemistry in this movie is like Laurel and Hardy, like Starsky and Hutch. Like, this is a buddy cop sort of vibe. It's such a throwback to like 90s greatness. And then Shane Black's, his writing is incredible, like so witty. But the two of them, I want to see them in everything together. It's amazing. What's amazing about Shane is like all of his sequences are so over the top, high octane, so it's like, it's just non-stop fun. This is a wild ride and it's packed with jokes, so you just get a little bit of like genre bending here. You can expect bullets are gonna fly around Christmas, and maybe you'll see Santa Claus. So what more do you want from a film?
First of all, I have to say I'm so lucky to be a part of this film. Shane Black, I've been a fan of since I can remember. To be a part of something like this as a comic relief character is a dream come true, you know. I've always wanted to be a part of like a 90s action movie, so I would say this encapsulates a 90s action film absolutely succinctly. It's perfect. So I play the comic relief, and I get into a couple of things that drive Parker, Mark Wahlberg's character, crazy, and then we all eventually rectify the situation, and it reveals that we're all kind of playing each other dirty, which is maybe a little bit of a spoiler, but yeah, it's a beautiful film. Between the comedy and the action, I was already it's a must. The action, however, is top notch, like world class. I was working with one of my stunties that drove the car through the intersection. You know, when my character kind of was drunk and wasn't looking, he drives through the intersection and misses the cars kind of perfectly. That wasn't CGI. They actually did that. Yeah, I was there that day just to watch them do it, because it was something to me that was like, there's any kind of margin of error and you're kind of fucked, you know. And these guys never miss. They are 100% accurate. It's such a testament to their skill. The first day I met Mark. He came on set. We were shooting the scene where we were standing in the quarry, and Parker was kind of showing the crew where the train is going to come into the crash into the yard. He came straight up to me, put his hand out, and just went, "Chai, it's really lovely to meet you," and like looked at my soul. I felt so seen and validated. It was freaking incredible. Yeah.